What is up and welcome back. We are your Emerald Coast relocation team. In this video right here, what we're going to be talking about is what we don't like about Navarre, Florida, and actually why we decided not to live there.
All right, let's go.
If this is your first time watching, Pete and Chelsea Sweeney here, and what we'd like to do is help out all of you who are looking to move into the Emerald Coast. If you are looking at purchasing real estate, give us a call or text that phone number right below. Right below right there, we always answer, doesn't matter date or time.
And if you are not ready to make that commitment yet, no worries. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up that you like this kind of video, and then also hit that notification bell so you're notified every single time we put out a new video.
Now guys, before we moved into the Emerald Coast, we actually went into like pretty hardcore detail into like Navarre, Gulf Breeze, even Pensacola, kind of figure out where we want to live. And ultimately it did come down to whether Navarre or Gulf Breeze. But the first reason that we're going to talk about why we decided not to live over Navarre is the schools.
Now, the good thing about Navarre, I will say before we kind of get into the negative things, is that it is part of Santa Rosa County. And Santa Rosa County as a whole is a B+, so that's really good, especially because it's kind of a large county, not necessarily super wide, but it covers all of Gulf Breeze through Navarre and then up into Pace and Milton. So it does actually spread pretty far, and so that B+ grade average with as many schools that's encompassed in it is actually very good. However, when we were looking, I mean, most of you, if you're new to our channel, you don't know that we chose Gulf Breeze at the end. But most of you know that we did choose Gulf Breeze, and part of the reason is because Navarre did have a lower grading for schools. However, there are still really good schools in Navarre. Let me give you just a couple. I wrote down some of the ones that were the highest graded in that area. So West Navarre Intermediate School is at an A-, so still really good. West Navarre Primary School is at a B. Holly Navarre Primary School is a B. Sorry, I have to write it down for you guys. I can't remember all the names. Holly Navarre Middle was an A-, and then Holly Navarre Intermediate was an A-. So again, very good. However, the high school, Navarre High School, is actually a B+, whereas over in Gulf Breeze, I know guys, this is like kind of really Chelsea, there's still B's and A's, which I still think is a very good option, which is why it was hard for us and we couldn't just like choose on schools alone. But Gulf Breeze does have all A and above. So that was kind of just one of those small things that definitely led us to Gulf Breeze, but not the only, which is why we're covering a lot more. You're gonna want to stick around to the end though. We're gonna cover a kind of controversial topic that may or may not go well, but we try to be as real as possible as to why we chose it. That may or may not apply to anyone else, so bear with us, stick around to the end.
So even though we are covering the things that we don't like, it's so nice to hear that even though this is something that we don't like, it's really not that bad. You're still getting those A's and B's schools over Navarre, which is fantastic. We just personally decided to be somewhere where it had all A's, you know, and so whether it's Gulf Breeze, Navarre, both are super beautiful. Both do have great schools. We just prefer the schools over in Gulf Breeze.
All right, since school wasn't that big of a difference, we got to keep going down the list of reasons. So the second thing that we're going to be covering is kind of the distance to the most important things for us. Yeah,
and so one of the biggest things is, guys, we love to travel. We like being near the airport, or at least a close vicinity within the airport. Navarre was much further. You're looking at about a 45 minute drive over to Pensacola National Airport. They just changed it because when we first moved here, it was a regional airport. But yeah, over to the airport, and so we're like, you know what, we want it to be that much closer. That way, you know, when we're sitting there trying to get the kids all out the door and everything, it's like we have a little bit of extra time to get over into the airport.
I mean, even if we're not just traveling ourselves though, more recently Peter had gone to Colorado, and at the same time we had visitors coming here, and I was going to the airport at different times in the same day to pick up, and that would have been a lot harder with that 45-minute drive versus, you know, the 20 to 30-minute drive that I had. I know it's only 15 minutes. Again, people sometimes are like, that is not that far coming from a big city, but I will tell you, when you move here, your world shrinks and 30 minutes starts to become a little longer than what you're used to.
Yeah, and another thing is we want to be a little bit closer to Pensacola downtown. Even though we chose not to live in the heart of Pensacola, we want to take advantage of all the activities, all the events that they do have downtown. Navarre, you're looking at about a 40-minute drive, and so we're like, you know what, do we really want to do that? Think about if you're doing one of those late night art gallery things that they do, was it Fridays in the summer, every Friday?
Third Friday.
Third Friday of the month. Is it every month or is it just in summertime?
I think it's every month.
I don't know. Either way, it's like they have a lot of great night activities. Do we really want to drive 45 minutes back from there? Sometimes it's probably gonna be a little bit more because you have people who are all commuting back, so probably look at like an hour. So we want to be a little bit closer to downtown to take advantage of all the activities that are happening within downtown Pensacola. Another thing that we kind of looked at, and honestly this isn't that huge of a negative because Navarre Beach is fantastic and it's a great spot to hit, but if you do want to go over into Pensacola Beach, you're looking at about a 32-minute drive. We did want to be a little bit closer. Our ultimate goal when we did move down here is we wanted a quick 15-minute drive over to the beach, and so you could technically have that, taking advantage of Navarre Beach over in Navarre, but if you want to take advantage of all the amenities that Pensacola Beach does have, then you're looking at about a 30-minute, probably a little bit more than that, drive over into Pensacola Beach.
All right, the last thing that we wanted to be, it's not a deal breaker again, but because you're on that little strip of land with Gulf Breeze and Navarre, you do have to travel a little bit if you want to get to some of those bigger shops, like your malls and some of your, like any of the big stuff, like Dick's Sporting Goods and all that stuff. So Cordova Mall is actually the closest mall to all of us, and that is still 45 minutes from Navarre. I don't know about you guys, sometimes we're like, you know what, we have nothing to do today, let's just go walk around the mall.
Well, especially during Christmas time, right? Like just going there, seeing all the decorations and stuff. I do your Christmas shopping. It's like we enjoy the mall, and so it's just a little bit further.
Sometimes we don't even buy anything.
Yeah,
we just go just because it's like got music on and everything's all decorated. But
oh, excuse me.
Yes?
I'm trying to find a gentleman doll.
Me too, me too.
Do you have any more in the back?
it's just one of those things where we do like to, if we do have to go and like pick up a, bigger present or something for sports, it is nice to have something a little bit where you have more variation and not just the small stores.
Yeah.
Now I will say real quick, because Navarre does have really cute boutiques and small stores there, that if you can get the stuff that you need there, great. It just is going to be a little bit more expensive because you're supporting local, which we love.
Yeah.
We are not saying anything about that, but if you're looking for some of those bigger like kind of mall trips, you are going to be traveling a lot further.
The third reason why we didn't choose or really don't like going over in Navarre is the fact that there's not too many, I guess, waterfront or I guess beach style restaurants over there, as opposed to like compared to like Pensacola Beach. There's all kinds of them. Yeah,
we like to eat. Actually, the only reason we really go over to Pensacola to eat is because we want to see either the sunset or the water, and like just, or maybe the conveniency after coming from the beach. And that is, it's funny too, because we go to Pensacola all the time for all of that, but we still go to the one restaurant that Navarre has because of its environment. So,
or is Juana's or something like that, right? And we like to go over there and play beach volleyball, which is fantastic over there.
Yeah, so even though they don't have a lot, I mean, okay, so the main one, so it's gonna be Juana's, Beach House Bar and Grill, Windjammers, and then on the other side of, if you don't want to go over to Navarre Beach, which again is a really small distance, you do have Dewey's, and then there's like the Slippery Mermaid that on that side. But really 98, I try to look at what the restaurants are kind of on the sound side, and that's really all they have. They're trying, they really are trying. They're trying in a way that where they get the food truck stuff going.
It is,
on that side of 98. But man, if you're looking for a lot of variation, and you're just not going to find it at Navarre Beach like you will Pensacola.
The fourth thing that we really don't like about Navarre, and actually we did a video about this a couple of videos ago, is just the fact that the neighborhoods are super spotty over there. When you're driving through, you're kind of like, I mean, we came from Colorado where we're used to like these super developments, right? Where you have all these brand new neighborhoods and they're all within their own community, and you're not going to find too much of that over in Navarre.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this a lot, that Navarre is up and coming, and they are doing a great job in putting in new restaurants and things that really kind of enhance the area. But I would say personally that I don't think the housing has really kept up with that yet. Now, you do have some neighborhoods, say you're going from Gulf Breeze and you're going to Navarre. On the sound side of 98, you do have these little small developments. They don't connect, so you lose. We've talked about this a lot. Go check out our golf cart community thing and why we chose this. But that was something that we desired, is having kind of these small communities connect and have this like golf cart style life, like you know, like this lifestyle we talk about. Whereas these do not, but they are small little developments along the way that are newer homes and still really beautiful. But they don't have sidewalks.
Yeah, they don't have sidewalks. They also, what we noticed too, is you see a lot of these developers who are going in, they're buying up like a plot of land or multiple older houses in a row, and then you see like 4 brand new houses or 5 brand new houses, and so you have that, and then right next to you have a trailer, and you're like, oh, well, this is kind of different.
And that's kind of the area on the like the not sound side of 98. So off to the left, going that direction is all, and it's all like that. However, the closer you get to the golf course, which is what?
So Hidden Creek Golf Course over there, and it's actually a great golf course if you want to go golf over there. But that is the closest thing that we saw to those kind of those super developments or those master plan communities where you do have a lot of nicer houses. I mean, they're not brand new. We're not looking at these brand new developments, but I mean, they're built like nice, the 2000s. They're super nice houses, brick. They got all kinds of different beach style, but that's kind of the closest thing you're gonna get unless you do find those smaller developments on the south side of 98.
The other place to look is, and this is kind of what we're learning, is that West Navarre is developing newer things compared to East Navarre. Like we went over to like get deeper in and just kind of really, we were trying to map out and give you an overview so that when you came here, you can kind of like, we do that a lot. When our clients come into town, we're like, okay, you know, this is what we suggest, or like, you know, just to make sure that's easier for you guys. And we were trying to do that for you guys. And I'll be honest, it's not that black and white. Like it's hard for us to map out unless we're giving you like this specific developments and having to like map out that neighborhoods for you. It is kind of hard. But on the west side of Navarre and going north, majority of those are kind of newer houses if you're looking for that. Now, you can find a newer house like Peter said, but it may be a house of like 1 or 2 or up to 4 houses, and then the rest of it still hasn't been developed. It is a lot quieter in those neighborhoods.
Oh, it is, yes.
Doesn't it seem just, and it doesn't have sidewalks, so it feels like the roads are like pretty wide. And so that some of our clients really like. And this is the thing. Even though we're talking about all the things we hate about Navarre, so many of our clients still choose Navarre, and we love that because something that doesn't work for us is also going to be something you love about Navarre. So we love covering the things that we don't like in case it makes sense to you, but sometimes we confirm Navarre for people just by telling them what we don't like. So those areas, because they have more land, it just seems a lot quieter.
It does,
It seems like there's a lot more greenery because there's just so much more land, plots of land with houses on it.
The fifth thing that we really didn't like about Navarre, and we actually learned this kind of being here more than from the outside perspective, right? Is the fact that, I mean, the locals aren't really too open to the growth that's happening or the outsiders that are coming into Navarre. We have been getting a lot of darts on this channel from the Navarre people. If you're watching this right now, we're probably getting a little bit more darts. I understand. Listen, we're from Denver. We experienced the same thing when we had pretty much California taking over the state and all that stuff. So I understand where you are coming from with that, but just know that if you are moving into Navarre, we just noticed that it's just not very welcoming to a lot of outsiders.
Yeah, I think they're okay with the growth because we have friends who also live in Navarre. We've helped clients in Navarre who are extremely happy. But if anyone's going to say something, it's typically people
it's usually
from
Navarre or up north, Milton. You know, Milton and Navarre, those two spots are like, get away, stay away, stop getting people to move here. And it's like, we're just informing people here, right?
We've actually talked about this before where there's a sign and it says like hidden secret or something on Navarre's sign. And for a while there, they were thinking about changing the sign. I read this whole article about, they were like, it's beautiful in Navarre, guys. It's absolutely beautiful. The beach, we had an experience at the beach the other day when we were recording where I just was in complete bliss. And I get it. I get when you live in this area where there's no traffic and like, you know, housing prices are, you know, lower and they are staying lower because nobody's found your hidden jewel. And we get it, right? Like we get people being like, oh, now all these people are coming in, they're driving up our home prices, it's becoming more crowded. We get it. But if anyone's going to say something, it's typically Navarre. We hear you, we see you, we get it. But you have something really special and people want to share it. And so that is something that we're like, gosh, you know, Navarre will tell us how they feel about us all coming in here. We are not locals, and we feel it when we are not locals. I think it'll change over time. It took took Colorado a long time to adjust.
Well, I hope that it doesn't reach that extent. Like Denver just got insane, and like I think it's just more so just people trying to get away from these larger cities and stuff. But definitely don't wish that upon Navarre that it gets anything like Colorado.
No, and I think that locals are super nice in Navarre. They're just protective of their space, and like I don't think there's anything wrong with having pride in your city.
Not at all.
So I do think that you can spin that as like, I think that them speaking, I see you, we see you, we see you comment telling us not to come here, and I get that. But I also, like, once you get to know everybody in Navarre, they are super friendly.
That's true.
Okay, we have covered 5 things that we do not like, or even the main reasons that we didn't choose Navarre for our family. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you're notified every single time that we put out a new video.
And of course, guys, if you are looking at purchasing real estate in the Emerald Coast, we're talking Destin all the way over into Pensacola, give us a call or text that phone number right below. Right below right there, we always answer. It doesn't matter day or time. Until next time, we love you. Bye.
Bye.